I don't want to. I'm not gonna do any more drama. I just want to say, like, I know that this is a tough situation. I
Mm-hmm.
know you've collabed with Tecto, and we've been in calls together. I know it's a tough situation to be in. Um, I I'm in this weird spot where I'm like, we had the first discussion in the first debate, and I know the longer that debate went, the more tilted I got because
Yep.
I could just see exactly like it was playing out exactly how I thought it would, and there was like a glimmer of hope that like maybe it won't, maybe there'll be like some accountability, and it never happened, and it was like really tough. But I knew that was gonna happen going in. I knew it, and like I
And
regret
that, I think,
not just DMing him and telling him in the DMs like fuck off, man.
yeah, that might have been better ultimately. But I think, and I was a little harsh on MTash on the initial reaction to the debate. But after Hex Juice provided clips about his like pushback in calling out Tectone, I have to admit he did really well. He did really well in that debate, and he shouldn't apologize. Although, admittedly, if you didn't want criticism, if you didn't want drama, he probably should have kept it private. But the thing is, Tectone would have manipulated that situation too, and it was a no-win for MTash in the end because of how Tectone is. Basically, Tectone is Donald Trump, and you cannot compete with Donald Trump fairly. You have to go through extreme measures in order to compete with someone like that who has a platform, who maybe shouldn't have a platform, but in this current climate, they do. And you have to either be silent or you got to fight harder than you've ever fought because it's just the reality that we live in.
Man, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to be friends with you. I don't like what I'm seeing. I could have done that
Yeah.
and avoided so much of this and like
Yeah.
all these people speculating on the motives and is he jealous, is he not jealous, like all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's what was brought in. Obviously, MTash called out Hextrees for being a snake, and then, Stockholm Syndrome and all this other stuff, and then clearly called out Tectone as well. So there's going to be a lot of these names being thrown around.
And I already regret that I didn't just tell him to fuck off in the DMs. But I was emotional and I lashed out. And now it's like the tough thing about that is I now see, Hex made a video, Shinny made a video, some like VGX guy, and like I feel like they're not being neutral on the like the actual things that happen. Like I look at some of the clips they use, and they cut some off early, and it's like, damn, that's like frustrating, but like that's also their opinion. And so for me, I'm in a spot where it's like, do I need to make a video to like qualify or quantify
Yeah,
why
you
I
do.
snapped the way I did?
I think you absolutely do now because I don't think there's any way to escape this, MTash. I think you need to make a video, and you need to tell your side of the story because I didn't give you enough credit, even though it's a bit hypocritical. You guys both being in this space for as long as you are and profiting as much as you are, and I kind of had that blind myself as far as the points that Tectone was making against you. But at the end of the day, you made some solid points that I think you need to basically clarify your whole entire premise as to why you have a problem with Tectone, irregardless of Hex Juice, if that's possible.
Like,
Here's the thing: it won't actually matter because we're dealing with the most toxic gotcha creator in this entire space with Tectone. Okay, so you'll still, unfortunately, feel these ramifications most likely for now until forever.
because it seems like, oh, that's a dagger in the back. Like it's just like out of nowhere, and I can understand that.
But it's not out of nowhere because you've already prefaced that. I watched your reactions to Hex Juice, and you kind of went through the motions about you've had issues with him in the past, and you touched upon it. So, and I don't think it's any surprise to anybody that actually knows who Tectone is that he is deserving of most of the criticism that he gets. And unfortunately, there's not enough people that actually will take him to task. And Hex Juice, tried, did it, but didn't do it halfway near where she needed to go in order for her to, start saying that she's not, I don't know what happened here. Oh, it's a new Windows? A new journey with Windows. Oh, I got distracted there. Something just came up. Anyway,
I also don't want to like keep going with it either. Like, I can fully accept that like I could have handled it way more tactfully and professionally, and I admit to that shit. You know?
Yeah, no, I definitely do think that like a lot of things, because it is like live and it's really hard to like think before you talk.
Yeah.
What happens live, so a lot of the words end up being, I guess, like misinterpreted. At least that's the way I see it. Like I guess, and some of like the white knighting things. I mean, at least me personally, I didn't see, but now I gotta like rewatch the entire VOD and stuff like that. But I do think that a lot of people in chat like took some of the things like the white knighting and ran with it, and you know, that does you know, that doesn't sit well with me. But
well, that's the thing is it's like okay, well, we're done with it, but then they make those videos and it's like they're continuing to like paint that narrative and like try to like twist it further, and it's like, okay, well, so are we done with it, or do I have to defend myself again? Like it feels it's like it's just a lose-lose. I knew it was going to be, but that's what it is. Anyways, I just saw you talking about it. Yeah. I see Hex in here, and it's just this weird feeling of like, do I have to like
you do
tell my side?
You do. You definitely do. You definitely do. You have to get ahead of it. But you're in a no-win situation. You're gonna have to fight this endlessly, unfortunately. But you do have to make a video.
They continue like it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating. Anyways, good luck on the video.
Okay.
Chat is gonna be rough for a while,
no
matter what you say.
Yep.
And it is what it is.
All right. I appreciate you for hopping in, comment.
Yeah, this is Box's video. It's Box 2 video. If you go to Box 2 on Twitch, up here in the corner. And then, hold on one second. And then you go to his most recent VOD, and it's the actual MTash stuff happens right around 7:45, something like that.
Hey, here it's just such a
I get it. I get it.
Hello, Les.
Have a good one, dude. Good luck.
You too.
So apparently Tectone comes on shortly after. There's a whole train here that's going to happen, apparently. And I want to. This is why I'm coming live, because I want to hear everybody's responses. You're welcome, Meow. This just happened like an hour ago. Or it's been happening for like the last hour. He's staying silent, I think, because somebody else is going to come on. Maybe message Tectone to get his side of the story. Maybe Tectone's messaging him. I don't know how to process it. Oh. This happened, yeah, like an hour ago.
Dude, fuck, man.
What? You got nothing to say. There's a lot of silence here. And Box.
Yo.
Here we go.
Yo, Box.
All right, here we go. Here's Tectone on here.
I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Techie.
That's it?
And that's all I want to say, because you're a special guy.
Thanks, Techie.
Hey, I'll be real, Box. This situation ain't that deep. Who cares?
It is that deep,
Yeah.
Tectone. It is that deep. But you coming on here and trying to rewrite the narrative now, because God forbid somebody else covers it and neutral about it, and makes you, look like the person that you don't want to be viewed as. God forbid, yeah, lay it on real nice. Lay on the fucking nice Tectone persona.
I was queuing up a speech in my head that I want to I guess I'll give like right now, because I do feel like the situation has spun out of like fucking control. I can't lie.
Hey, I'll be real. I feel like this situation really ain't that big of a deal.
Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't, because you don't want it to be anymore. God forbid this narrative is so bad for you. Okay, all the other drama, let's expand it. Let's fucking 7 hours drama it. Let's do all this shit. But when it's actually bad for you, Tectone, oh, it ain't that serious. It ain't that bad. Well, then, you know what? You didn't have to do half the things you did. Okay? You made all these choices along the way. You made all these contradictory statements along the way. You made all these hypocritical things along the way. And now you made all these misogynist statements along the way. And now you don't want to have to deal with the ramifications because we already know, Tectone, you don't want to actually hold yourself accountable. Instead, you're going to be like, there's nothing to see here. No, hold your fucking self accountable. And then we can say, there's nothing to see here. Then we can go and move on. Okay? Hold yourself accountable first. At least acknowledge your faults in this. At least acknowledge your faults.
No, absolutely not. I honestly, I think that you are a great person. I think that MTash is also a good person, but
this is
somewhere
good.
along the line, some things just didn't click, and I think that is absolutely fine because not everyone is meant to be friends. And
I'll be real. I can tell you're stressed. I'm letting you know I'm not.
That's a
I
lie.
really don't think you have to take this shit seriously.
That's a lie.
I'm good, and this isn't.
He just can't acknowledge it, but he's stressed as fuck. We already know this. Go back to that fucking video where he like listed all the things he's stressed about. Okay, and it's some of the pettiest shit in the world. Let's go back to it. Fuck it. You know what? Let's do it live. I'm here. You're here. Let's do it live. Let's go back to it. Let's go back to all the things that he's usually stressed about. Okay, and let's just deduce if someone like Tectone can be stressed about this situation. Let's postulate if that's even a possibility, okay? I'm not obviously saying that I disagree with what he's saying, but at the same time, we can make our own determinations based on past behavior, i.e. Tectone's own behavior. It was entitled... One second. I am so glad I keep a record of this. It has been so helpful for me. It is called Millionaire Content Creators Like Tectone Get Sympathy from Their Chat. All right. Here we go. Let's see what else Tectone gets stressed about. Let's see if we can postulate if he might get stressed about this. All right, let's go to the end and see what the last thing of his list is. All right, here's the list of things that he gets stressed about. I almost went to the hospital because of anxiety. Okay, so this is stress. This was not caused by streaming. Okay, so streaming doesn't make him stressful. Too much caffeine. Okay. So drinking soda stresses Tectone out. But drama that involves, I don't know, being a misogynist, being a hypocrite, you know, setting standards, being a bully, straw manning, red herring, being accused of potentially Stockholm syndrome. Dad dogs died in 2 armed shit. That's horrible. That is obviously understandably stressful. I'm an idiot. Invested all my money. Okay, that's stressful. I bought $1 million house. That's stressful. When I owe money, it's all I could think about. Okay, that's stressful. When I owe money, I do a lot of ads and get rid of my consciousness. Okay, excited for Shadowverse. Okay. I had about 20, 30 CCs who replied on me for advice daily. Okay, so this may not be indicative of what is going on right now, but it could get to there. And I think and you're trying to basically diminish it so it doesn't get there. So I would be stressed about the possibility of it getting to that level. My family, okay, family don't win. Some of my friends are doing some loss. Okay, Eggy, okay, that's sad. I was getting fat. Okay. I am not paying for one house, I'm paying for 2. Renovations were supposed to, okay, so this is fair. So really the caffeine and let's say being fat, self-conscious about being fat, and then maybe this one is the ones we could maybe. So maybe he's not. Maybe he's not as stressed as, maybe he is not as stressed as he says. Maybe he is saying that he's not stressed, and maybe I believe him. Because based on that list, it's not as egregious, potentially, but it could be. Am I wrong by this? Well, you can look at it like that, Alpo, but that was sympathy for his chat that day to get subs and stuff like that. It was the fucking lowest form of it was the lowest kind of common denominator. Tectone literally stated when he got in the call with MTash. Yeah, that's true too. Good. You know what, Dan? Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah, he did. He was furious. He was furious. So he's not stressed, but he was furious. But he says he's not. And I tried to deduce that he would be, but based on those, I mean, caffeine, if you can be stressed about caffeine, then you can be stressed about pretty much anything. Hi, Green. Where's the $2 for box stance? So sorry, there is no stance. It's just people calling into box, MTash, Tectone, Hex Juice. We're currently breaking it down, Green. So you're not that far. You're not that far. You're not that late.
Your friendship, I wouldn't do that. but I'm gonna go get some food, and I just wanted to say,
Yeah, he doesn't want him to cover it. He doesn't want him to analyze it, make a video of it, because he doesn't want this continue to generate any kind of news or momentum.
These situations should be laughed at and not taken seriously. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
But,
you're a
yeah,
motherfucker to say that
the
because
jerk.
you set the standard. You always set the standard, Tectone, for what should be taken seriously and what shouldn't be taken and what should be taken seriously. You're the one setting the standard, and when things don't look good for you, you want to make sure that nobody else covers it. Again, this is another tactic that you use, and now you're using this network that you have, this gotcha network, with Box, with Mr. Pokey, with Hex Juice, with Gotcha Smack, and you're gonna fucking literally circle the wagons and make sure they know that this is not something you should be covering, and if you do, stop now. Go get some lunch. It's not an issue.
Jerk off. I hope you have a wonderful day.
All right. Well, thanks for telling me to get to go jerk off. That was very important information.
Hey, I got you, homie.
All right.
Weird.
Peace.
All right. And I guess Hex Juice is on this call.
Next person's gonna call is, bro. Everyone wants to call. I'm next, bro. Holy fuck! What is this? It's like we're like setting up a fucking line, man.
Yeah, it is a line. I'm waiting
we're like
for
setting
it.
up a goddamn line right
Here,
now, bro.
let me skip it a little
Holy fuck.
bit.
Should I start like asking people to pay or something? What's going on? Should I
weird.
do that? $5 to get in line.
Thing because I think it's getting
Oh, here we
sort
go.
of
All right, so it wasn't that far.
now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Use the thing, and so
How's it going? You know what? I ain't gonna lie, bro. In a way, I'm kind of happy that you know you guys are like making light-ish of this situation. You know, fine. It's kind of comedic in a time like this. I kind of like that.
I like use the thing, and so like it's like I see how stressed you are, and I feel bad, and I don't want you to be worried that like.
What is this? This is the same narrative. They want to publicly use it for content. They want to go and literally bait everybody, bait 10,000, 15,000 people, and now they're going to say it's nothing after the fact. How superficial, how fucking disingenuous is this? Are you just pawns for their game? I mean, I've obviously insinuated that. That's been implied since I've done my content a month and a half ago. I know that to be true. But is this just another example of that? I think it's a little bit convenient that it is. I think it's more or less they don't want this to get out at all. Like they just want it to stop. Clearly, that is their overall agenda. But at the same time, do they actually give a shit? And was this only just for content? And now that it's blown up this big, they're like, fuck that shit.
I'm gonna be like, oh, like he didn't agree on every single thing that I said. I hate this dude. I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna have nuclear drama with Box now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like.
Well, I would say that, you know, that's like very possible. Let's be very clear. I think you'll throw anybody under the bus, except Tectone. In the end, you tried. You were there, Hex Juice. You went almost there. You went 90% there, and then you fucking failed at the very end. Which is such a fucking waste of time and energy. You were almost there. You had him 100%, but you didn't want to deplatform him. You didn't want to criticize him because at the end of the day, even though you deny it, basically you parrot everything he does, and you are the carbon copy of Tectone. And if he loses his popularity, so do you. And you knew that, and you didn't want that, and so therefore you stopped before you could actually do something, make a change. And finally resolve some issues that you've had with Tectone for years, just like MTashed. And instead, you double-teamed MTashed when he was trying to make his point as well, which is a snake behavior. And now you're trying to circumvent the narrative and try to change people's opinions, and so isn't Tectone, and so isn't MTashed. But MTashed is doing it in a different way because he doesn't want the drama. He doesn't want the continuous backlash in his chat.
Where did all these people come from? I'm
Yeah,
scared.
yeah. No.
Why is everyone in my chat?
I was just scrolling on Twitch and I saw that you were live, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
For context on the white knighting thing, because I think that's getting sort of lost.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead in your very clear, calm voice, Hextrees, tell us exactly what we should be thinking about White Knighting.
I'm referring to the original VOD of MTashed reacting, because towards the end there, he starts really speculating on my personal feelings and...
You've already disclosed your personal feelings. You said you were emotional. Yes, it was an assumption made at the time, but it was assumption based on facts, Hextrees. And you disclosed it. You didn't have to disclose your emotional state. You didn't have to disclose that you were emotional. If you didn't, then yes, he would have looked like an ass. And you could have made that point, but you didn't. You said that you were emotional. Therefore, you know, hindsight's 20/20, whatever else you want to do, that's fine. You know, acknowledge it, but at the same time, acknowledge that you have already admitted that you're emotional. And therefore, all what you're about to say is null and void, because he was right to make that observation in those assumptions.
the nature of the relationship and a lot of other things. And that was
because Les, they're trying to control the narrative in every way. They're going to look at the gotcha space. They know that Mr. Pokey, Box, all these people exist in this ecosystem. And if this narrative is spread this way, or if it looks bad on them, it'll come back to them and potentially affect them. So they're trying to they're trying to control the narrative. They are.
I felt like he was doing. I told Tectone that
Al Shinra, a Tectone flying monkey, literally speculated on MTech. There you go. It happens. And they will do the same thing, Meow. They will do the same thing they're saying not to do, because they're the ones that are the kings. I've told you this. They're the ones that are the fucking... They're on their high horse, okay? They're the dictators. They get to do whatever the fuck they want. And God forbid you do anything else. You do anything different to what they want. But if they want to speculate on your mental health, like they did with me, they called me insane. They called me the R word. They called me dumb. They called me all the fucking words. They speculated on my mental health when they didn't even fucking know me. Who is calling the fucking kettle black now? Who is the fucking hypocrite now? Who is the fucking deplorable one now, Hextrees? And you sitting here saying that you can't say that, but you did that with me and you didn't even know me more than fucking, 5 minutes of my initial reaction video, or my video in general. Go fuck yourself. Literally. Take your fucking VTube and fucking Tectone's fucking profile pic and go fucking away and have fun with your true selves, because you all just set the standard for everybody else, and nobody else can make any assumptions or opinions or criticisms, because you're setting the standard. And it's not you, obviously. It's Tectone, and you're just like behind him, And then when you need to, you come out.
I asked.
Volume is a little low. Your free time, look at the volume properties. Whose volume's low? You want me? Well, because I think Tectone was a little bit louder. I'll turn it up. Thank you for the advice. Yeah. Thank you. Just some guy working at McDonald's. Hold on one second.
MTash to not White Knight for
Is that better?
I asked MTash.
It's pretty slow. Yeah, I will admit, Hextrees' voice is pretty slow. I mean, pretty low.
Was there approximately the same wording, except for one was obviously
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's very low tone.
harsher because one of those people I didn't know well. Okay.
The Twitch VOD volume is low. Ooh. Yeah, in general, the Twitch VOD volume is low. All right, let me crank it all the way up. How bad is this going to be? If it blows your ears out, I do apologize.
I'm sorry that you're so stressed. I feel really bad.
No worry about it, man.
And he didn't, but he consistently throughout the entire stream the next day brought me up, assumed things about me, assumed things about my feelings, and
it's not loud on my end either, I'll be honest with you. So this is kind of what we're working with here. They're on low energy right now.
Additionally, he called me.
I don't know why Box is stressed necessarily. I think he's stressed because he got his hand into this drama, and I don't think he really wanted all of the stuff that came with it. He just wanted to be able to make a video, I'm sure, and just kind of live his life, and yet he's getting all these people call in. I think that's partially why he's getting stressed, because of the reaction he's getting from this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, because on this end, it's already low as well, and I've got it on max on my XSplit. I can't go any further. And I know this is going to be an issue because when I go to other videos, this is just one of these issues where it's just both of these people are pretty low energy.
Me a snake when this was an issue between him and Tectone, where he didn't have to bring me up ever at all in his stream or on Tectone's stream. So that was why I was upset, because I felt like I was being spoken for, which was inappropriate. Because if you watch his stream the next day,
he's gonna be
before he goes on Tectone.
Yeah, I was gonna be harassed from now until he thinks it's gonna be die down in a couple of days. It may not because of how persistent they are. You're still deplorable guy, just like you were a month ago. Congratulations on your achievement. Keep growing on the basis of gratuitous and baseless hate. Thank you, Beba Agba, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Stream, he's talking about me, and I didn't want to be talked about. And so, like, everybody can talk about what he did or didn't do.
MTash is fuck. Look at how Tectone is still bullying Enviosity. I know, Lambo. It's true.
And my feelings, my thoughts, my opinions were invalidated and spoken over by MTash multiple times. Even before he talked to Tectone. So I want to, like,
You don't get to talk. You don't get to talk. Actually, you do this all the time in your chat. And you did this to me. And guess what that makes me? That makes me a very knowledgeable person in this particular area. And I can criticize you more harshly than most people because you did it to me. So this double speak, okay, this double standard, ain't gonna fly, buddy. Ain't gonna fly with me.
That's kind of all I wanted to say. And I'm sorry that you're so stressed.
Oh, I'm so sorry you're so stressed too, Box. I'm so sorry. God forbid you want to actually speak out your thoughts and talk about it. But you know what? My name is Hexshoes and my name is Tectone. I just want to make sure that you know that we're still friends. I love you very much. You should go jerk off like Tectone implied. You should go eat lunch, Box, because this is not even an issue. This is no drama at all. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Everybody loves you. It's okay.
And you can give your full thoughts on whatever you want. But yeah, that's kind of it.
Oh, now, all the caveat. Oh, don't worry, Box. You can give your full thoughts. You can give your full thoughts. Well, you shouldn't have butted in then until after he gave his full thoughts. Then you could have reacted to his content or had a conversation with him. But no, you wanted to interject before it was all over because it's not even finished. Like he was going through it. It's not even finished. And to be honest, it was going to get to the good parts. He wasn't even at the good parts from what I could tell. Because this is some long ass fucking drama, education that you need. This was. I've done 14 hours of this shit. It's taken a long time to get to where I'm at.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for saying your piece.
Yeah.
Appreciate for coming on.
Yeah. Take care of yourself, and if you need to take a break, take a fucking break.
Yeah. Just take a break. Take a break right now. Just shut your stream off, Box. That's what she's trying to say. Just shut your stream off. Delete your VOD and deny ever covering this. That's what she's saying. Because God forbid anybody continues to cover this. God forbid people are called out for their hypocrisy, for their double standard, for setting this, for the unrealistic expectations that they themselves can't even hold themselves up to. With Hexshoes being a hypocrite, saying that you can't speak to someone's mental state when she did that for me constantly. When Tectone saying, you know, that you can't do this and that, and then he himself does this and that on various occasions.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I'll see you.
Hang up, Box. Hang up. And let me just say, this is not reflective of Box. I have no idea what Box is, and I'm not going to criticize Box or Mr. Pokey to the extent that I would make videos or cover them exclusively because they're smaller content creators. Obviously, if I feel like they are just, you know, becoming like a Hexshoes, then I will do that. But up until then, I'm not going to criticize them. And I do envy, I do feel very empathetic to his particular, you know, although he made a choice to cover this, and that comes with the territory.
She didn't pay the $5 to get in. This is horrendous. It's the worst.
Yep. Got to suppress criticism for Snake's behavior before people find out. That's correct. Hex is more like Tectone.
Pokey is next.
Lackey.
Do we actually have a line? Oh wow,
yeah.
Shinya. Yeah, what up?
This is when I watched.
So I'm not even gonna try to farm this.
Okay.
I echo what Hex said. Like, sincerely, take care of your own mental health. And if like
So we all know that Lol Shinra is and he's going to acknowledge this right now that he's more biased towards Tectone. So again, this is that whole fucking narrative of just, you know, and they want chat to receive this. This is not drama. Don't look over here. It's not a big deal anymore. We've overcome it. It's just not. It's not sincere. And it's not something that we need to do right now in this space, because we need to hold people accountable. It's very important that their actions be taken as seriously as they are, not because that this issue is the biggest thing, but because these things lead to other things. And this ecosystem has been affected for many, many, many fucking years with Atsu and Enviosity and Tectone and Braxophone, all the allegations behind the closed doors. Like, this is that fucking behavior. And this is an extension of that.
feel like you're getting overwhelmed with drama, just put it down. Like, nobody's gonna judge you for stepping back from situations like this, and it's a lot, especially when you're watching a shit flinging contest between two people that like you really like. So just keep that in mind, man. Like it's a lot. Like it sucks.
Yeah, God forbid he makes up his own fucking mind, Lil Shinra. God forbid he makes up his own mind and actually takes a neutral take on the situation and gives MTash the credit he deserves. Maybe gives Tectone the credit he deserves as well in some cases. Maybe gives Hexshoes the credit they deserve. God forbid, and maybe he's a little bit critical of those two. Maybe. God forbid he just makes his own fucking mind up.
I don't like doing it either. Like, right? Like, people are saying, oh, well, Shindy wasn't being neutral. Well, yeah, I wasn't being neutral in my video, right? Like,
I will never stop Meow as long as I'm active. Tectone's biggest simp comes in to say, stop covering drama that puts Tectone in a bad light. That's right, Lambo.
I am more close to friends.
Yeah, I'm beginning to realize that. I haven't even watched that video, and I might not even do that now because of this conversation now. It might not even be worth my time just because it's probably another hour-long reaction that I don't really need.
That I am with MTash, right? So, of course, like, biases are always going to exist. That's just the reality of the world. So,
that is exactly why he stopped Meow. He knows, unlike other content creators, I'm not here for the money. I'm not here for anything else besides, you know, my mission statement, which is hold these fucking content creators who are hypocrites accountable for their actions. And then once that happens, and the audience knows that, and the chat knows that, and we can all live in this space, and everybody has the shared responsibility, then we can actually establish an ecosystem that is healthy, that is friendly, that is transparent. Until then, they can go fuck themselves. And I have fucking content for the rest of my life. And I don't want this. I'd rather just go back and, you know, play video games. Like, I haven't even played Resident Evil in 2 days. Not to say that it doesn't create an anxiety to me, because it does. I haven't even opened Zenless Zone Zero in like 24 hours. Like, I need to get back to games, but I'm not going to stop covering this. I will push that level. I'll push that lever forward.
realize that, but yeah, I mean, I didn't even want to, you know.
I heard all that Tuesday, and yeah, we see that yesterday. He's deleting a lot of comments too, trying to silence the narrative, trying to delete the narrative, trying to basically say it's a non-issue now because of how big it can possibly get, and he doesn't want it.
Add anything to
And they don't get to dictate it. They don't get to dictate that. And you come here, you won't ever hear it silenced.
the fire. I just wanted to check in on you, see how you're doing, make sure you're comfy, because I feel like people get trapped into thinking they have to cover this drama once they've like started it, but it gets overwhelming, man. Like,
Wow. Almost as if this is fucking orchestrated. Almost as this is orchestrated. Tectone's like, hey Hex, get her. You need to come in line. Almost, you know, and then Shinra's obviously a shill, so he'll do whatever Tectone says. Almost like it's orchestrated.
I'm a very
Shame is right from Game of Thrones. Shame, Shinra. Shame Hexshoes. Shame Tectone. Shame Shinra. Shame Hexshoes. Shame Tectone.
God myself, and sometimes like I find it hard to realize situations where I need to take a step back from and like really like just like remove myself from the situation. Anyway, hope you're doing well, bud.
Yeah, after you made your video. after you made your video, which is fucking biased from what I understand, which is very favorable to Tectone. After I made my video, oh, you can just step aside. Don't make the content. Don't make your own opinions. God forbid there's other videos out there, and we actually solved the fucking problem.
That's all I wanted to say.
Thanks for your advice, bro. It's just
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy right now, bro. Holy
It
fuck.
sucks.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
It
no.
sucks, but here's the thing, like, this is, I mean, Techie was right. Like, this is really like a big nothing burger at the end of the day.
Mhm.
It's just two people disagreeing with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just two people disagreeing with each other. It doesn't have any actual, like, you know, foundational, larger, broader, you know, context. No, it's just isolated to that one particular instance when, you know, MTAS was making it very clear this has been happening for fucking 4 years. Anybody with seeing eyes can see that this is an issue. And even Hex Juice's fucking 90% attack on Tectone was so revealing and eye-opening that alone is enough to say there's a lot of things going on here that need to be addressed. And the motherfucker Tectone wants to continue to try to, like, silence this narrative so he doesn't have to admit his faults. And you know why he doesn't have to want to admit his faults? Because of that video that we watched yesterday where he fucking got so outrageous, where he got so outraged because he has to fucking look weak. And God forbid he's got to step down from his fucking Andrew Tate complex and lose about 4,000 people who think he's going to be weak and that he's not this fucking badass, bad boy, fucking alpha male, fucking fuck this, fuck that attitude. God forbid he loses some people because he's not Trump enough, because he's not fucking this way or that way enough.